I mentioned one in the past about teamwork. Ever hear of the word silent partner? My name is on a few businesses as a director. I would be classed as a silent partner because they needed to have me. You need an extra person as a name, and I became a name on somebody else's thing for the state, for the city. That thing, you need extra directors. It's not always wise to have your whole family on it, and it was not bad until one of my being a director of a guy's company, he died. Okay. I get this little notice from the IRS about, oh, you're a director over there. Well, he was paying me. What? Yes. He listed me as a person being paid every year. You're his partner. Wait a minute. I talked to the IRS guy. I said, what do you mean I'm his partner? Yeah, I know I'm on his directory, but that's just directory stuff. But he was paying you. You were being paid. And I looked at him and says, no, I wasn't. Oh, yes, he was. I had you down on payroll. Okay, what social security number was I? I told him my social security number. I never got anything on that. They don't match. You better find out whose social security that number is. And the guy looked it up and says, that person doesn't exist. That person's dead. Oh, that's great. So I have a split personality here as a partner of his. When I'm on his payroll, my name comes up, my address comes up, name, address, telephone number, and all that, but my social security doesn't come up. So whose social security is it? And it turns out to be a dead person. Where did he get that from? But you got all that money. I said, I didn't get any money. I know I'm on that thing, and I'm on a lot of things. I told him what I'm a director here, and I got people on one of my things, the directors, and they're not getting paid. There's no money there. They're just there as filling up that space. The same thing, IPCC. It's a club, okay, non-profit club, and nobody's taking any money in there. No one's getting paid. We know how everything works. Nobody gets money. Nobody gets paid. It's all volunteer. Nobody better be getting paid, because I was filling out the 990s every year, and nobody got paid. It was all volunteer. Now, previous operations, when I took it over in 2012, this thing was going on since 92. So I don't know how they were operating then. I don't know how they were doing things. I don't know how they had things. They had 1,000 people before I took it over. 1,000 people listed as members, and they were sending out flyers or membership reports, or what it was, newsletters every month to 1,000 people. And I got the list finally, and I looked at some of these things, and I saw a couple news people on there that I know have been dead for. Didn't that guy die? And they're still sending him newsletters every month? we could not find that from the local post office that they ever did mass mailings, but they were spending the money. They were spending money on stamps, envelopes, paper, and that thing. Okay. They were being listed as membership dues, but we couldn't find out where the dues is. Where are you keeping the money? That was one of the things. And then we find a lot of people on that are basically dead. Just like my friend who put me down there as a, quote, director, and I was getting paid. Well, how about the other people? Let's look into them. And they're having a hard time finding them. Oh. So I was a legitimate director on it, and the other people were a hard time finding them. That's great. Bank accounts? What did he have? And they found out, well, he had a couple other businesses that I was listed on as a director, and I was being paid. Oh, how interesting. Uh-huh. That's nice. What was it, Confederate money? Because I sure didn't see any money. And now the IRS wants to know why I didn't pay. I didn't do my yearly stuff. He says because I wasn't getting paid any money. He was padding the books. Oh, you better find out what he owns in Florida. Does he own racehorses? That's like, yeah. But they finally looked at me, and then they looked at his wife. His wife was listed. His children were listed. His dead grandparents were listed as getting paid. I don't know. But he was also the guy who was doing the books, and he went to a accountant and said, okay, where's the accountant? They can't find the accountant. It's like, you sure there was an accountant? Yes, they finally tracked down the accountant. He's over in Graceland. It's like, oh, great. But, oh, dear old Joe, he padded everything. I was one of his silent partners. Reminds me of a story of silent partners. If you go to a foreign country, one of your silent partners is a government official, or his son or his daughter or something. You have to pay. Especially over in France, where the guy who has a stamp, he has a stamp in one hand, his other hand's out for the payment for the stamp. And if you want to wait in line, you're going to wait in line for that stamp to be stamped, even though we're sitting in front of him. Even if it's right there and he has the stamp in his hand, he goes click, click, click. He doesn't go click. And you have to give him some cash. Friend of mine, somebody I know, I won't say a friend I know, somebody I knew went to Russia to open up a business there, like a McDonald's, okay? Because good taking. The first McDonald's has very likely a silent partner called, let's see, what would his name be? KGB, FSB, Vladimir Putin. I think that was the first McDonald's. Get in there. That's one of those silent partners in Russia. Why? That is the guy to make sure that if you have any problems with bread delivery, pickles, chopped onions, you tell your code silent partner, and your silent partner is in there for the rubles, and he's the one who can push the buttons, you might say, or assemble the firing squad, either way you look at it. And that's your thing. And one of the reasons Putin has $500 billion in his personal bank account is that you find out he was very likely in every McDonald's in the country, he was a silent partner. And that silent partner, what does that mean? All the bread that the thing is from someone else, he just simply says, I'm setting up my own baking company. Putin sets up his own baking company to provide bread for McDonald's. The old saying, yeah. He says it's his own pickle factory, making vinegar, of course, making vinegar, bad wine to vinegar, and his silent partner. Oh, talk about silent partner. What's the other silent partner I heard about? There's a drug dealer in Chicago who most likely has been killed or die off of that thing. He owned a street of stores, grocery stores, liquor stores, machine shops, garages, the whole bit. If you wanted your dress clean, you went into his zone. He was a private partner or silent partner of the businesses, because as a major drug dealer, he had all this cash to flow, and he had to launder it. And then what's the best place is put it into an honest business. As a friend, as somebody I knew, he's long dead, knew, he owned a automobile thing, repair. The guy walked in and said, I'm going to pay you $600,000 for your business. But it's not worth $600,000. Yeah, that's okay. As long as your name is on the thing every year. And it was, he got the money, was transferred to somewhere else on different accounts. Because the head of the drug dealer was he was an honest guy. He says, I'm an honest person, I'm a businessman, I have all this extra cash, I want to buy into your thing, your name is going to be on this lease for the next 10 years or 20 years or something like that. And great. And oh, by the way, I'm your silent partner, no one is to find out we're partners, okay? The guy said, okay. And when you're retired, your name will still be on the business license here. You're going to live a long time. You will live as long as I live. I don't know who's going to take over when I'm dead, but not to worry about that. But he had restaurants. He also had in front of his restaurant a parking place for the police car. And he said he wanted that police car there. Chicago Police Department. There. The two people were sitting there are doing basically security when his clients come up and they go past a police car, they know that they're there for security. And what he does is, if they're parking there in the morning, they get free breakfast. If it's cold outside, they have right by the thing is an electric outlet with a heater, and they can bring that into the car. He has a spot in his restaurant window, okay, looking out into the street, that there's places for 4 police officers or a couple of detectives. He says they can sit there, they can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's on me. They don't have to worry about anything. And he said he heard that his daughter needs braces. He pays for braces. His son needs this. He says the guy needs a new car. Well, I just happen to be a dealer, he says. I can get a good deal for your daughter and your son. Right. He gets a good deal. It'll cost him this much. A great deal. It could come in cost. Don't have to worry about commissions or anything. Yes, yes. It is best for not to get a new car, but a used car. He wants a nice little sports car, we will get him a used sports car. No, because you don't want anybody to start questioning having a new car. Even though it might be nice, you tell your son he will get a used car. He will drive a used car. He won't have to worry about anything. Okay? New car, people look. Old car, a little rust on it, people really don't care. So as long as he was alive, he made sure the police there were always happy. If they needed anything, he said the best security in the world is having Chicago Police Department sit there, sitting in the restaurant, eating, being out there at night. If it's cold at night, the restaurant's open 24 hours a day for you. Perfect. And they got along with that thing. He did his drug trafficking bit and made everybody happy. Not the DEA, but as long as they didn't know. You know, the silent partner. Yes. Me being a silent partner, and I'm supposed to get being paid, and I'm not being paid. And then the IRS comes over and asks me why didn't I do my back stuff. But I did pay taxes every year. I did pay taxes on this Social Security number. I don't know about anybody else's Social Security number. Partners. You know, I got basically someone else I've helped for over years, you know, I've known him 30 years, and I help with his business, and ever so often he says, well, why don't you rent space for me? What do you mean? What, you know, your movie thing. How about renting space next month for me? Okay. I will use your green screen. Green screen, yes. The one I bought for the space that he has. Because I was using green screen for Afterlife. Didn't you get to see my videos in Afterlife? Yes, that's one thing about being a partner. Whatever scheme he has, or business venture he has right now. But pandemic is basically that thing, and then the downsizing of all Chicago. Oh, he's the one with the studio space. He used to do a lot of that. He used to rent the space until Nancy when he was in the hospital, Nancy was renting the space out and collecting the fees for the space. Wayne's a very nice, lovable guy. He's honest. Very honest. And Nancy screwed him over royalty. What was Nancy Trim? Oh, her mother was into human trafficking. What was it? Yeah. Her mother was into human trafficking. Yeah. I guess runs in the family. She used to work for Helix. Boy, was she ripping them off. Oh, you better know it. They had a studio at Helix, and she had customers on Sunday using the studio. The same thing she was doing with Wayne. There was customers in there, and how did Wayne ask? He asked for his phone back, and she walked out. She walked out with scenery. She walked out with lighting equipment. Yes, she walked out with stands for her own business. She walked out with all the programs off of the computers. She destroyed 2 Apple computers, the big ones, the great big, what they call cheesers. She destroyed 2 of those things. She overheated the thing. And she burned him out. And she laughed about it. And she took all of his, you took them or erased them off the computer system. You turn on the computer and all the programs are gone. Nancy destroyed everything because Nancy wanted to take over his studio. Right, and kick him out. She took over his clientele. When a client wouldn't rent for her, she went after him. Several long ledges of words and basically just screwed Wayne over. What's Nancy Tran's last name? Nancy Tran? Little piece of work. She got away with it. I'm this poor little Chinese girl. Yeah, that poor little Chinese girl has a couple of brothers who are hackers. And they hack into a lot of stuff. Hopefully they get caught by the IRS. Or get killed by the Russian mob. Either way. Oh, well. Oh, I shouldn't say up against poor little Nancy. Little Nancy's, yeah. Yeah, little Nancy was involved in drug trafficking. Well, her mother's involved in human trafficking. I guess that's okay. Oh, well. That's it.